And for the latest version of our system, we have another approach which we shared yesterday about dual version. You remember the presentation of Alexander Zalogovsky about the way how we can go from older releases to new releases. And our next presenter will show us. Just a second, Dima, could you please mute for a second, because we are in the same office. Just mute, yeah. So and our another approach, alternative approach, is quantum leap. So the way how you can jump from an old release to a new release in a bit different way. And today one of our engineers, our support team lead, Dmytro Varakin, who has been with PortaOne since 2013. We are sitting in the same office right now, in the same room, and been working together for 8 years. So I'm proudly presenting Dmytro. Dima, the stage is yours. You're welcome. Please unmute your microphone.
Okay, thanks, Alex. Hi all. Today I'd like to talk about one more way how to make your installation up to date. And the name of this approach is Quantum Leap, also known as DBup. And today it can be considered as the fastest way to get the installation, to get the latest release, especially when the gap between the releases is more than 20. I'm not the person who invented this method, but I'm the one who adopted it, who finalized it, and who started to use it for production updates. And to get acquainted with this method in more detail, we will recollect the history of PortaOne updates and migrations. Also, we will define how Quantum Leap works and when it is suitable. And I'll try to answer frequently asked questions. So I'm pretty sure that the majority of our customers, or even all of them, faced the necessity of updating their installation. And until recently, we had just only one option. This is standard update procedure. And using this method, you can perform the update to any build between two neighboring LTS only. This corresponds to 5 releases. So if the gap is more, it will be needed to make more than 2 updates in a row. For example, if you have a MR 81 and you want to update to MR 95, you need to update your installation to MR 85 first, to MR 90, and only then to MR 95. So you'll need to perform 3 updates. This approach is the easiest one, as we have well-tested update procedure. Also, it doesn't require any additional hardware or licenses. But at the same time, is the longest due to this limitation of the update between LTS release only, and it also requires a lot of preparation. Despite the fact that new LTS releases are released once a year or once 9 months to be more precise, a lot of our customers cannot afford making updates too frequently. And as a result, the gap between their current release and the latest one become more and more. And in order to accelerate the update process, recently we introduced dual version updates. It allows making longer jump over 15 release. And what is more, using this approach, you can update customer by batches. So, for example, you can update the pilot group of customers, test everything on them, and when you're happy with the results, to update your main customers. And if for some reason you face issues with one particular customer, this very customer can be rolled back while the other ones remain updated. And when all inconsistencies are solved, you can initiate update for this customer one more time. This makes dual version the safest option among the updates, but it's available only starting from MR 55. And turning back to the topic of this presentation and answering the question, what is the option if the gap between my release and the latest one is too huge, I'd like to introduce another approach called Quantum Leap. This is not something new, as we use a similar approach during the update operation system from FreeBSD to Linux. I'm talking about the update from MR20 to MR21. And we started to use it again in order to release the gap, to close this release gap with minimal downtime and minimal efforts. Now let us check how it works. So this is not a standard update, this is rather a migration. So you will have two installations with different releases that work simultaneously for some period of time. We copied database from your production installation to a new installation, to a target installation, and using special scripts, we update and convert the data there so that it corresponds to a new release. While traffic is handled on your production installation, you can test everything on the target installation. And I like to note that all this time, any changes on your source installation, on your production installation are allowed. So you can create new billing entities, you can create new customers, accounts, products, you can make payments, your customers can make calls or use their self-care portals. All these things are allowed. And when everything is tested and you are happy with the results, we copy the database one more time just to operate with actual data and repeat step 3. And the last step is switching traffic. So the downtime during traffic switching is as minimal as moving IP address from one installation to another. And it can be several minutes or even several seconds. So with the help of Quantum Leap, we can update the installation from any release to any. There is no limitation in a source build. Yeah, it requires some additional hardware. Also, it requires minimal efforts from your end for testing. But all manipulation around the update will be performed on the target installation whilst your production installation remain workable. So, what is needed in order to initiate the DBup? First of all, it's needed to contact our sales in order to approve the migration. Also, you need to deploy the new installation and organize fast interconnection between the installation. The second, it is needed to move traffic. Practically, we faced with IP moving if the servers were located in one data center. Also, we faced with BGP reconfiguration when servers were located in different data centers. And you can reroute traffic using DNS by changing DNS record. But in this case, all your customers should be registered using domain names. Also, if you have some kind of SBC that can do the same, it can also be an option in this case. And answering the question why Quantum Leap update faster, let us consider where we can save some time. For Quantum Leap, some steps can be skipped. For example, no need to proceed with the preparation for every update, while it will be performed only once. Also, there is no need to schedule the service reboot or installing RPMs because the target installation already has everything in place. Also, there will be only just one post-migration period instead of several, as in case of standard update. And there will be no need to have some stability period between updates. Yes, it will be one extra step with traffic moving, but it takes several minutes, so it can be even not considered. And I'd like to finish answering some frequently asked questions. So what is the biggest jump using Quantum Leap? There are no limitation here, and on practice, the longest jump was 61 release. We performed the update from MR24 to MR85. And the oldest source build was MR16. Can I have a rollback? You can return to using the old installation, but this requires manual transfer of CDRs and some data such as configuration changes may be lost. How many Quantum Leaps migration have been performed? For the last three years, we performed more than 15 migration, and at the moment, about 10 are being discussed. What approach I need to choose and when? So if you have rather new release and the gap, rather new release and new hardware, I suggest you considering the standard update. If safety is the main concern for you and your customer, dual version is your choice. And if you have a quite outdated release, by outdated I mean MR70 or older, and if you have quite outdated hardware, or if you have a combo, both outdated release and outdated hardware, Quantum Leap is the best option for you. Also, it will be suitable if downtime is critical for you, because it is as minimal as moving IP address from one server to another, and it doesn't depend on distance between releases. So that's all I wanted to share, and if you are interested in this method, you can contact either support or sales, and we will gladly assist you. Thank you.
Dima, thank you very much for presentation. Indeed, both methods, dual version and Quantum Leap, becoming more and more popular. So I do recommend asking support and sales about how it can be done, and both methods, they can be applied into different circumstances. So you're always welcome to come to us and ask about those two interesting methods, how we can update your system in one step, several steps there.